What I'm going to teach you are just some little, basically tips that I have learned kind of the hard way of doing things. I've never have found a book, I've never found a blog, I've never found anything that has given me these guidelines. It's just stuff that I have learned by doing it on my own, because I do social media consulting and LinkedIn training. So I work for several different clients and run their social media for them. And it makes it easier for them, like we were just discussing. When you own a business or you do work for an organization, sometimes that's all you can do is do that. And the last thing on your mind is trying to do something for social media. And usually it's an afterthought is what I'm finding with most people, because they're very good at what they do, but thinking about putting it out there or showing people what they're doing is not on the forefront. So when I talk to a client and they've had an event and yet I haven't seen any pictures, or if they haven't posted anything, I like to ask them, why didn't you post anything, or why didn't you send me any pictures to do that? And they're like, oh, I just never thought of it, So, with me as a consultant, I'm not in their office every single day, and I don't know what's going on. And sometimes something that may seem trivial to them or be something that they do every single day, so it's not a big deal, but it, letting people know what's going on is really, really important. So I think if we all put a different hat on sometimes and think of more your audience versus what's going on day to day. You go to work every day, you're in there, you're pushing the papers, you're answering emails, you're taking orders, depending upon what you actually do. Welcome. And you're not necessarily thinking about putting things like that out to the public. So events are really big to push out there, and it doesn't have to be a big event. It can be a tiny event. It can be something that just happened within the office, like maybe it's Boss's Day that's coming up October 16th, and hint, hint, hint. Maybe you just do something really fun or even silly or something, for your boss. Or maybe you're the boss and you flip it around and do something for your employees. It just, that you appreciate them, and, you can take a funny picture or take something and just post it, and say Happy Boss's Day to everyone. So utilize, what you have and what you're working with. So I'm just going to show you a few things. And for those of you who just came in, welcome. And I make sure you have this handout that just kind of has the information on it, that we're going to kind of walk through this today. And what I said at the beginning of the class is that this is just my tips. It's not anything I learned from a book. It's not anything I learned from a blog. I mean, you can even search for things like that out there on this topic, and it doesn't come up. So these are my personal tips. They may not work for everyone. It's not a one-size-fits-all, but I think you can kind of be a little flexible and make things work. So,
Sandy, would it help you if everybody went around the room, introduce
yes,
themselves so you can get an idea?
I would love that.
A diverse group in here, and maybe tell how they use social.
I would love that. And can we start over here?
Sure. My name is Jamie. I'm a sales manager over at the Comfort Suites Hotel right here off the exit.
Hi, Jamie. And what do you use now?
Well, we currently use Facebook. We just opened up a Twitter account, and then we're looking into Instagram and yeah. So we're trying to explore any avenues we can.
You're using Facebook right now.
Mm-hmm.
How's that going? It's tricky in that.
We put out posts. We try to post at least once a day, and we get a few hitbacks, but not too many people. We found that other people are using Twitter and other things more frequently, so we're trying to
For hotels?
Yeah, so we're trying to explore those venues.
Okay, good. Okay.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm with Peak Physical Therapy. Right now we use Facebook, and I'm just really here to see if we can use Facebook better.
Aha. Okay, good. All right.
Crystal, I'm the Executive Director of Washington County Habitat. We currently have a Facebook and an Instagram. We're primarily using Facebook right now. We don't get many hits off it, I don't know why.
And when you say hits, you mean like people
Like, I
engaging?
post our events and stuff, and we don't get very many.
Okay.
Ticket sales don't go through our Facebook. They normally just call the office and get information.
Even if you set up a ticket? Okay. All right. Well, maybe we can retrain people and talk about that a little bit today and kind of help you with that. Sir?
Sure. My name is William McLeod. I'm a real estate consultant, and I use Facebook, LinkedIn, a little bit of Twitter, but not enough. So I'm here to learn and
Okay.
be more involved.
Great. And I think you've been in one of my classes before. Kyle?
I'm Kyle Craig. I'm with Computer Solutions. It's a small business here in Abingdon. I do a lot with veterans groups and other groups. I play with the Facebook, the Twitters, the Instagram. People are always asking me what the secrets are, how to do that, so I got to get knowledge from somewhere, so I'll find smart people.
You scrape the bottom of the barrel. And
Yeah,
you're
I
like,
can't
I
find
guess
anybody,
it's
so I
singing. I'm glad you're here.
I'm Laurel, and I own a French, I import French bakery supplies, and I use Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram a lot. I have like almost no followers, but on my websites I can track, and I know a lot of them are coming from those sites.
Yeah.
It's weird and something hard to figure out and hard to get a handle on, and I sell to a bunch of different markets other than just bakery suppliers. So it's real hard to get a handle on who's looking at it, who's buying, who's.
I just saw 20 years ago like this, when you said French pastry stuff, so
Yeah, no kidding.
maybe tell them
My eyes
what
kind
Facebook
of
is.
rolled back in my head like, ooh. But she actually says that she sells the things that go, like you can bake inside of them, right?
Yeah,
Almost like king.
they're like the king cake babies, but in France and in Europe, they do thousands of different designs. There's Disney ones and all sorts of stuff.
Hope you brought a lot of business cards.
We're all excited about learning more. Let's go back here.
I'm Ellen Mueller with the Mendota Trail. We have a Facebook page and an Instagram page, which others have set up. And I'm very new to Facebook and have not actually yet ventured into Instagram. So I'm personally trying to learn more about how to help out.
Okay, that's great. And Ellen, if you're brand new and you get a little bit lost, you can certainly ask questions. That goes for everyone. And ask questions as we're doing it. I don't have any problem with that. If we have to take a little bit longer on a question, we might just table it and we can talk later. But feel free. Don't be shy, sir.
I'm Dirk Moore, and I'm representing the town of Glade Spring, and we're looking to use social media more to engage our citizens. We use email, and we have a website, but we're not really using social media platforms because we really haven't thought of that in terms of a municipality. So
Yeah.
we're trying to think about how that might be more effective.
I want you to write down Farmville, Virginia on something, and look up their Facebook page when you get home or get back to the office or whatever. They just kicked off this year a Facebook page, and they are doing an amazing job. And it might be something that you can get some ideas from. And so, okay.
I'm Samantha Tedder. I'm the administrative assistant with the Washington County Chamber of Commerce. We use Facebook and Instagram, but primarily Facebook to promote chamber member events and our events. But I would like to do more of live streaming,
Oh,
ribbon cuttings. For myself, and we have other people
Yeah.
that do it, but I would like to get more confident in doing that.
oh, that's great. We're not going to talk too much about that today, but hopefully you'll get something out. It won't be a waste of time.
I'm sure it won't be.
Hi, Nita.
Hi, I'm Nina Farmer. I'm the Executive Vice President of the Washington County Chamber of Commerce. We're always looking at different ways to reach out to our members, so more and be more engaging with our members. So anyway, it's always a pleasure to be here and see what you've got to share with us.
Yeah, it's always great to see you. I always appreciate it. You didn't get a handout, did you?
No, ma'am.
Is there a way that we can get a copy of the handout? They're gone.
You're gonna make copies of mine?
And I can't give you mine because I wrote all over it. I apologize, but you've been to my classes before. I recognize you. from something. What's your first name?
I'm Jonathan.
Jonathan. I have met you before. Are you from Johnson City?
I spent a lot of time in Johnson City.
Okay, I think I've met you there before. Welcome. And you, we were just talking about kind of what you wanted to get out of the class, or what type of social media you're using now, and you're probably doing everything working for Aegeus.
Mostly Facebook for company posting. I probably spend more time posting on the company side than on my personal side.
Good. That's where that's where your audience is, obviously. And that being said, we're going to talk a lot today, mostly about Facebook, because every single person in this room, no matter what you do, that's where your audience is. The audience gets more selective when you start getting into Pinterest and Instagram and some of the other, LinkedIn. I actually train LinkedIn, so I'm a big supporter of LinkedIn. And we'll talk about a few little things and dabble with it, but we're not really we're going to talk primarily with Facebook today. So just so you're aware of that. Okay, so now that we've kind of understand where everybody's at, and Wade, I actually have a client right now who's in real estate. So there's some not here. It's a little further away, so it's not a direct competitor for you. But it's interesting. So you may see some of those posts and things like that about what I'm doing for them. So it's kind of a fun market. Anyway, so and these guys, they're all from the Y. And do you want to tell us just briefly what you're here for?
Yeah, so we are a new program through the YWCA in Bristol. We focus on victim advocacy for young adult victims of crime ages 17 to 24. So we do victim advocacy as well as holistic self-care classes, kind of teaching them to deal with trauma. So obviously being a new program, social media, especially for our age group, is huge. And none of us have a background in marketing or anything like that. So we're really trying.
But you're young, so social media isn't intimidating to you then.
Sure.
I'm trying to get your names. What's your first name?
Oh, Laura.
Laura. Amelia.
I think we're finding that the people that are in our age group, I didn't realize this, but they apparently, I've been told, from focus groups that we've done, they don't use Facebook a lot. They feel like
Your
that's
age.
an older person thing. I just had no idea. So.
But you're not intimidated by social media like some people are
Right.
when I train some people.
For us, I think
because you grew up with it.
Yeah, I think it's using it smartly and from an organization standpoint to get people more engaged with what we're doing and what we're posting. So
Yeah. So what is your audience? What's your demographic for ages?
17 to 24,
Oh, it's
non-gender
young.
specific.
Very young.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, you got to be on Facebook, but your audience, 17 might be. But anyway, that's a whole other class, figuring out your demographic for yeah, it can be. So, okay. So we're going to go by the sheet. And so when you're on Facebook, even if you have an outside app like Hootsuite or Buffer, I like to use my Facebook analytics and schedule within Facebook. That's just how it kind of keeps it more concise, and I feel like the analytics are really good on Facebook. So when that being said, so when you go to your Facebook page and you've got your pages that you run, and so you can go and you can see your page, obviously, and then you can look at your insights and your analytics much easier. So what I like to do is go in here and look around, and you can look at your ads that you've done, you can look at followers, you can look at likes. It gives you the information that you need for your reaches, your page views. All those kind of things are good. Like you could look at this and you could go, oh well, whatever I posted on the 13th obviously had a big spike, and then you could go and actually look at that and see what time did you post it and what exactly did you post to kind of get a better idea of that was obviously something that people were attracted to. You can look at your actions on your page and who clicked on what. You look at your posts. this is very good information right here that I usually go in and look at and try to figure out. So on the 13th, so this is, I've got 2 posts on the 13th because we saw that spike, and we can pull it up and we can look at it and we can say, well, at 7:03 a.m. this one hit, and you can kind of look at it and see maybe 7 o'clock in the morning on this particular day is a good time, or maybe it was just a particular post that was just a big hit. It's kind of hard to tell till you get in here and look around. But you can also boost a post from here, and look at, I can look at this post right here. And so this is a heritage center that I run the Facebook page for. And on Thursdays, I like to do a Throwback Thursday and bring a historic photo. These happen to be my grandparents right here. And that photo organically did pretty well. I mean, it reached over 1,200 people. We're talking about a really small area. This is on an island, as a matter of fact, way up in northern New York on the Canadian border. And so there's probably only 50 people that actually live on the island, but a lot of people have heritage from the island from all over. So that's what you're trying to get to when you post something like this. You got to think of your area, but you got to be thinking about who outside my area might be interested in what I'm posting. Kyle, you in particular, with your military and the things that you post like that, you have a really broad reach as well. Is your information that you put out, is it anything to do with the trauma-informed care?
It is, a lot of it is.
Okay, so you know that there's a lot of that kind of stuff going out there. Do you guys know Becky Hawes?
We do.
Okay.
Training with her.
Okay, Becky's one of my best friends.
Oh,
And
she's awesome.
yeah, she is, and she's funny too.
Yeah.
And she started that whole program and does some incredible things. But anyway, I wanted to show you, like, you can click on how easy it is to click on a post and then kind of see where it went. And look at your engagements, look at your reach, and you could even go further and click on and see the comments and the shares. Sometimes you can see the shares, sometimes you can't. So sometimes because of people's privacy settings, you can't see who shared it. But it's important for you to kind of know what's going on with it, no matter what you're posting out there. And not everything is going to be a hit. Obviously, every so often it is. But on this particular day, on Thursdays, we have found on this page, I've been running this page for about a year, October 1st, that anything historic, it is a heritage center, of course, anything historic really goes far. I don't have to boost those posts. I don't have to do anything with them. So you may try to look into your sweet spot and figure out where your real sweet spot is. Everybody has one. Sometimes it takes a little longer to find it. You guys should post stuff that Becky does too. I would think her stuff would be really helpful. She has a big LinkedIn presence too, in case you don't follow her on LinkedIn. I've trained her on LinkedIn, so she's very, very good on it. But just you could share her posts as part of your things too for engagement. But anyway, this is a real easy way to go through it. The other thing is if there's a post that you're posting that you want to get the information out and it's just not doing what you think it should do, don't be afraid to boost the post. If you've never done it, has anybody never done it before? It's very simple to do. So if I wanted to boost this post, for instance, I would just click on it and it would say, how much do you want to spend? And I usually put in $20, $25. You can put the time that like if you wanted to run for 10 days and kind of boost it. It gives you a little bit of information on what kind of the region that you want to boost to. So in my situation, I usually just put United States, and you can, you just kind of go through it. It's not hard, and it's good to kind of test the waters out, but you will have to have a credit card put into here. And you could put in $5 as a test. Just dip your toe in there and just see how it goes. And it's a great way to kind of see what kind of response you're going to get back. And I feel like you don't have to do it all the time. I prefer organic, like the things that kind of go crazy that you're not suspecting, or the things that maybe really pertain to your organization that go viral. To me, that's more helpful when you're, especially when you're trying things out versus boosting everything. Some people boost all kinds of stuff, but I say when you're first doing it, see for a couple of months what organically is getting any hits, and then go from there with some boosting on some of that information. If you're doing other social media, you might want to look at some scheduling apps too. So there's tons of them out there. The one that I use is Buffer. I'm not necessarily recommending Buffer, but that's just the one that I use. But there's Hootsuite and Social Sprout. You can do a Google search for scheduling apps on social media and figure out which ones. Do you guys have one? The Y doesn't use one? No. Well, that's something that you may want to talk to them about. It would really be helpful for you guys to have it, especially if you're going to post to other platforms. Right. You can, I use Buffer mainly because it also will do LinkedIn, and not all of them are compatible with LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a little quirky sometimes. So if you are doing LinkedIn, that's one that I know for sure could work with you. You guys should probably, well, maybe not. LinkedIn's probably not your demographic, but Instagram definitely. Look at those. I'm not going to talk too much. I'm not going to talk anymore really about those. I just wanted you to know that you can schedule all of your things. So if you're running a bunch of different apps, if you're doing Twitter and you're doing Instagram, you can schedule all that. Personally, it's just my preference. I like to schedule my Facebook apps right on Facebook because I feel like I get more feedback. That's just, like I said, all of this is just me. It's not something that you have to do. It may not work best for you. It does work good for me. So when you schedule a post, huh? Can you show us where this? Yeah, I'm going right now. So what we're going to do is go to your publishing tools. So when you go to your publishing tools, it shows you have two things. You've got your scheduled post and you've got your published post. And again, you can go in here and see, feedback for anything that's already posted. When you want to schedule a post, you go into scheduling a post, and I've got, it says 1 of 13. So I've got 13 posts actually scheduled out for this particular website coming up. So all you do is you schedule, I will go through one, but you actually you can schedule it for a time, the date, you can put your picture, you can put your links, you can do anything that you want. And you can do up to about 6 months out. So it's really easy, like you could go in there and knock out some real easy ones. Christmas, you're going to want to do a post, Thanksgiving, you're going to do, things like that, and do those. So this is how I do you hit the create button, you do your post. If you want to grab a photo, you just throw the photo in there. You can do your link. And then this is the tricky part where down here, if you want to schedule it out, you hit schedule. And then when you go into schedule, and then you hit, you do your scheduling, put your date in here that you want to schedule it, and you can even adjust your time, and then you hit schedule. And it's pretty intuitive. It's really, once you get doing it. So how do you figure out what you want to post? So number 4 button this is the easiest thing for me to tell you how to do it. I make a monthly social media calendar for all of the things for all of my different clients. And I do it on a spreadsheet. And I actually was going to show it to you. So here is, okay, I'll just show you. So here is one of my clients that I work with, and here's my September post, here's my October, November, December. So what I did is I basically just pulled up an October calendar, and then I went through my calendar for October 2019, and things that are obvious, that are coming up are, like Halloween, for instance, Columbus Day, things like that I put in first. Boss's Day, that are right on your calendar. Then I go to things like Holiday Insights and there's different websites that you can go to and pull out other dates that may not be prevalent. I do a military website, so I go to a military calendar.
I've got one. It's this day in history kind of thing.
Yes. So like for me to pull out the U.S. Navy's birthday, things like that are. Then for this particular one, this is a realtor, I do some hashtags. I do Real Estate Wednesday, and I do a Testimonial Tuesday for them because they have so many happy customers. I mean, what a problem to have, right? So I have made those into testimonials, and just every Tuesday post a Testimonial Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I do a Real Estate Wednesday, which is just a kind of a fun real estate blurb, and I'll show you some of those. But this is what I do. If it's highlighted in yellow, it's already posted. And so I don't have anything posted for October ahead of time for them yet. But you can see I've got all of September done, sorry. And if you don't want to post every day, you don't have to post every day. But if you filled in, because over here is your days of the month, okay? This is how I do it. It's not how, it may not work for you. And then I do my months. So you do have to have a calendar in front of you so you know what days are Wednesdays or Fridays if you decide to do a hashtag. I encourage you to come up with some kind of hashtag. 3 brains there, you can come up with something that pertains to yours. And there may be stuff out there because you guys are in the middle of a hot topic right now all over the country. I know you're aware of that, and the Y must be too if they've hired you guys to do that. So you could come up with something and do a hashtag for it if you chose to. Sometimes you have 2 events, and we'll do 2 posts on this particular day because there's two events coming up. We'll talk about events in a second. But so this is all I do is I go through and I just fill in. And then, there's days like Take a Hike Day. It won't work for everything, but on a real estate website, I can come up with something for that. Same way with World Teacher Day, National Golf Day. I can definitely come up with something on those. National Farmer Day, those are just days, but, that we can come up with something that will be, relevant for that. Columbus Day is one I'm not sure because it's kind of like, that's kind of not like a great holiday. It's not really a holiday anymore. We don't really, anybody get Columbus Day off anymore? Kathy does.
I'm off every day.
She's the boss. Here's Boss's Day. So then, I also sprinkle things like when it says website, I'm going to do a promotion driving people to their website on that day. That's just random days that I've chosen. And because I think your posts should be relevant and should drive you back to your website when at all possible, if you have a good website especially. So, just be thinking of things like that. I've got, let me see what other ones I have opened up here that you can peek at. Okay, here's one. This one's a little bit more fun because it's for the Boys and Girls Club in Johnson City. But and you can do really fun things when you do, your target is children or parents. You can do Read a Book Day, and you got Grandparents' Day and National Coloring Day, and today is National Cheeseburger Day. Who knew? The 20th is Pepperoni Pizza Day. You wouldn't do that for your normal website unless you owned a restaurant or something like that. But you could kind of have fun with it when it's. You guys probably could do it with your demographic. They could definitely do that. So look at the holidayinsights.com, I think is what it is, and it gives you a holiday for every single day. But basically, what I go through and just pull out what. So with me doing different websites, I've got a church I do, I've got a heritage center, I've got a real estate company, Boys and Girls Club, things like that. I'm kind of all over the place, and I can't use all of the holidays, obviously. For the Boys and Girls Club, I can use a little bit more than I can for some of the other ones. But I go through those calendars like a fine-tooth comb, and I do it before the end of the month for the next, so at the end of September, I'll be going through it to really make sure I didn't miss anything. But I had a few days of extra time this summer, so I actually plugged in till the end of the year for all of my clients. So it'll make it a little bit easier when I want to create posts. So even got Sesame Street Day, Veterans Day. You never want to forget things like Veterans Day. No matter what you do, something like that is an important post. When 9/11 just happened, everybody should have had a post about 9/11. It just is, those type of things are relevant for everyone. Future Teachers Day, you guys could do something fun with that too. So, just be thinking about what you can use once you pull those things out. And then once you, here's another one you guys could use. You could just pull mine and use it. Take a picture of it. World Smile Day. Have some fun with that. World Teacher Day. Go through there. Think of what was going to work for your clients, your end user. And the other thing is, when you want to make sure you're posting about your company and about what you do, but these are just kind of fun fillers, and everybody should have some fun fillers, because who wants to go to a Facebook page and just see ads slamming at you about, that's just not exciting to me. I'm going to follow a Facebook page if it's got a little bit of different, shows me a little personality, a little bit of character on it. So be thinking of some of these things that you can use, and like if you, almost anyone could use National Ice Cream Day, as silly as that sounds. But Kyle, you could find a photo or create something with red, white, and blue ice cream, and do something patriotic, and have National Ice Cream Day. And I mean, it can be done. You can, I'm not saying that you would use National Llama Day, but definitely but you could. I mean, you got a little bit creative. You want to promote your company and promote what you do, but you don't want to just be doing that constantly. Throw a little bit of fluff in there and have some fun with it. People will be more willing to follow you. The other thing is, if you're, if you have your logo, you should be able to put your logo on that. And I use a design platform for creating my posts that I'm not just grabbing links from. And I use Canva personally, but there's lots of them out there, and I'll show you my Canva. Any questions on this before we pull this off? Pretty easy, isn't it?
David McLeish said, don't forget National Alpaca Farm Day, September 28th and 29th. He's watching.
Is he an alpaca farmer?
Yeah, I figured he'd jump on the llama thing.
See? He could have fun with that too. Let me open up Canva. So I have a paid Canva account, but that is a free. You can utilize the free. I just wanted more things with it. You use it? Anybody else use Canva? Isn't it like it was just like, no, like everything became perfect when Canva came, because you don't have to. I was trying to create things and make them look professional, and several years ago, I was at a class, and someone said something about Canva, and I was like, Canva, it was like, oh. Now there's a lot of them out there, but this one I still continue to use. So start your account. You can do the free one just to start out with if you don't have it yet, and you can design anything, just like what it says right here. And look how fun this is. They even do an animated social media. And you basically just kind of click on what you want to do, and then you can throw in your own photos, or you can use their photos. You can put your logo. So here's some of the designs. Like this was this is a real estate company that I work for, and I wanted to do their little profile picture on Facebook. I changed the profile and the cover photos as like seasonal. So you could, I did this under logos because this is about the right size and threw their logo in. And so I did them all for like the next couple of months. So when the holidays come up, I can just throw them in there. And I have a folder that I keep things in. It's just part of my organization with things. So super easy to do. So they also have good photos in here. So somebody throws what? Fall. Let's do fall. And probably somebody be falling down. So I like to use the free photos because even if you have a paid account, some pictures make you pay for them. But this gives you an idea of the kind of fall photos that they offer, in Canva. And they're just wonderful. So you can actually take, well, we'll do one. Let me go out of here. Let me go back to home. Okay. We'll just do one. Okay, so here's your templates. And so like say, you're just loads and loads of templates out here. So let me find something. We're just going to do something like this. So this has got burgers and fries. My post isn't going to be anything about burgers and fries or whatever that is. Maybe it's not burger. But now we're going to go up to photos, and we're going to do our fall search. I'm going to click free over here again, remember. So I'm going to remove this photo, and then I'm going to put in a pretty fall photo, and then we're going to position it to the back, and then I'm going to make it the size. Oh, position forward.
And Cindy, while you're doing that, we've had a couple online say that they use PicMonkey.
Mm-hmm.
And another one was Poster My Wall.
Poster My Wall. Okay, everybody write that one down because it's not on your list. But there's tons of them out there. Tell them thank you. That's awesome. So then you can change your wording here. And you can change your font. You can change where it's located. This is how you change your font. I mean, this is so easy. And if you want to drag in your logo, you can upload photos here. You just upload an image. These are all. You can upload any image. These are from my. I have an external hard drive that I keep all my photos on, so if I have to go to a client, I can just take this with me. I don't necessarily have to take my computer. If you don't have one of these and you're going to be doing this a lot, I would recommend something like that. It's super easy. Or if you're going to work from home, you just grab that and take it home. You don't have to take your laptop or anything. So let's see if let's get a logo. Anyway, if I was going to grab one of those, I could do that. But I know I've got logos in here, so let me just grab a logo. And the logo needs to be at least a PNG, which makes it transparent. So here, which means it doesn't have a white background. So you can put it in. Now we could change these writing, but I just wanted to show you real quick, like how simple it is just to pull something in and throw it in there. And you could take that off, or you could just say Happy Fall. If you wanted to change if you didn't like this font, you change the font. You can change how big it is. You can change how small it is. If you really want to get fancy, they have a whole text thing, so we can actually grab something like this. Let me take this off. And you could put something like this. And you could change it to fit. You may not want it to say congrats, Michael, or whatever. You could just change that. You just fits somebody's, you may just like the style of how this is set up. You can change anything in it, though. So highly recommend doing that, and then throwing your logo in there. So when you're looking at some of your holidays for things, this is super easy. So first day of fall is coming up, so you might want to do a happy first day of fall and throw your logo on there. That's an easy post. That's Monday, I think. That's something anybody could do. Like I said, you can upload your photos up here. There's so many. You could change this completely to be something completely different if you wanted to. So you play with it and you just kind of figure out what works best, for you and your obviously the organization that you're working with. But it's so easy once you get playing with it. It opens up a whole world to things that you hadn't thought about. Elements is real easy too because it gives you little clip art and different things. National Ice Cream Day. Here's a fun, animated little thing. How simple, with things like that. So play with it. Does anybody have anything to share about Canva that you've, good or bad?
Well, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
They charge for the resize feature, so if you do something that's designed to fit Facebook and you want to move it to...
Who charges?
They do.
Canva?
Yeah. If you don't have the paid version. Yeah.
Oh, I have the paid version, yeah.
So well, my question was, how essential is it if you're, let's say you design your post for Facebook and you want to do it in Instagram or Pinterest or something too. How essential is it that you change the size?
Do you have PowerPoint?
Yeah.
I use PowerPoint to do that.
To change your sizes?
Yeah, to change it, usually I flip the page sideways and put it in, and it fits perfect for Instagram.
Oh, that's genius.
Works great for, if it's only a PDF that you have, bring it into PowerPoint, you can save it as a JPEG or something else like
Yeah.
that. I like LibreOffice too, but it can't do what PowerPoint can do with PDFs. But if you need to resize it, bring it up.
And I resize everything in here. The paid account is not that expensive. I think it's $200 a year or something like that, which is well worth it to when it's kind of your go-to. Plus, I even have the app like on my phone, so if I'm out of town and a client needs something, I can actually just go right on my phone and do it with the paid app. But I don't work for Canva, so it's not like I get any kickback, at least not yet. But what I want you to look at is all of the things in here that you can do. You got Pinterest, you've got Twitter posts, email headers, Instagram posts. So they're already sized to go into it. Flyers are designed, photo collages, so all your Facebook covers, it's already in the pixels that it needs to be, and you can just go in there and throw in, what you want, and I personally like to change them out at least seasonally, if not more often than that. People don't want to go to your Facebook page or any of your social media and just see the same thing, all the time. They want to see something a little bit different. So this is an easy way to do it for fall, especially, you can just...
It gives you a little message to everybody else when you change it. People that forgot about you go, oh, they changed their profile picture.
Yeah, that's right.
It's an easy way. Change your phone number. Just backspace, leave the same number, but a message will go out to everybody that says, change your phone number.
On Facebook?
Yeah.
Interesting. As long as I don't keep calling. But this is a great way. You could change all this and put your logo on here for fall, and instantly have an updated fall cover photo. So you can search for anything, whatever you need to do. So, any questions on this or comments? If you use Canva. Do you utilize these tools? You do, okay.
I do it for everything. Like I make my tickets for my events on Canva. I love everything.
Oh, that's nice.
Cindy, two comments. One is, can you save that image as a high resolution after you finish?
Yeah.
And then the second was just a comment that someone uses it for their newsletter in a PDF format for homeowners association.
Yes.
She loves it.
Yeah, there's a newsletter. So let's address the first one. When you download it, I always download as a PNG, but you can do it in all kinds of different formats. You can even do a video here. Here's your animation. And the PNG is a high quality image. You can compress if you need to. It gives you, your size, and then you just download it. And then I always save them into folders. And because I've got so many things, I have all these folders on my external hard drive for all my clients. And then not only do I've learned through the years that I can't just throw them into a folder. I actually have the folders categorized. So I may have a folder for holidays. I have a folder for just events. I have a folder for Throwback Thursday, or so I can go to that folder and find exactly what I want. It's not just thrown into a generic folder with that name. I mean, it's very itemized, and it helps me stay organized with trying to do all the different things. So, pretend like you're running a couple of different Facebook pages, and you wanted to put a logo. You could put your logo on this, save it, download it, and then you could come right back to it and put your next logo on it if you wanted to use the same post. So super easy to do, and it looks good, looks professional, and it's highly recommended. Don't make things harder than they have to be, I guess. So we talked about changing your Facebook cover and your. Let's look at this real quick. So when you go to your page, this needs to be changed. This is a summer photo, and it needs to be a fall photo. So and then this is the profile picture, and I don't change their particular one that much because they don't like it to be changed very often. But you just have to kind of know, your client, or you have to know the company that you're working for and what they want, and your audience too. It has a lot to do with that. So the other thing you can do on Facebook is post a regular article. So if there's articles, you guys come to mind when I think of this, of a lot of the articles that are out there now about the trauma-informed care. So this is an article that I posted on this page, and the picture just came up. So this is something else that you can schedule ahead of time if you wanted to. If there's a link, you just embed the link into your, when you go to create. And so for instance, let me go to, let's go to our schedules. So I could go to create, and I could just embed a link right here. And then I wait and make sure a photo pops up. A desirable photo, obviously, too, because sometimes a photo pops up and you're like, yeah. So if that happens, you can actually X. There's a little bitty X if you hover over the photo that pops up, and you can remove that photo and add a photo. And it helps you. The photo's going to tell your story, and that's you may have in your mind the type of photo that you want to be attached to this, and it may not come up like Kyle says. It could be another photo, or it could be just something really random, like maybe an ad on that page that you took from. So you can control that, and I highly encourage you to change those photos if it's not what you want. It's really easy to do, and then you can schedule it to post later, and it'll post later. So that's a great way to do that. But I encourage you to do articles if there's some. You guys probably have a ton of articles too in the physical therapy world. I mean, with everybody needing, knees and hips and back, and there's tons of articles out there that you could attach to schedule out later, and you could even, you could have a fun hashtag with things like that too, like therapy tips.
Like, if you fall down in the fall.
There you go. Or therapy tips Tuesday or something like that. You could every Tuesday post an article about tips about something, injuries. We all have injuries. This is. When she says she's a physical therapist, everything started hurting on me instantly. That all my surgeries and things. I was like, oh, so everybody needs you. So these are some easy ways to post things. This is another question that I get quite a bit from people. sometimes you've got something scheduled, and then maybe something happens and that post maybe not be relevant, or you think, oh, that's probably, you can actually just go in and delete the post, or you can edit it before it even posts. Even after it posts, you can delete it or edit it if you need to. So, keep that in mind that you can do that. Also, make sure if you're the one posting that you just look at it real quick for typos and stuff, because nobody wants to see that, but it happens a lot, and I've done it before, but we've all been guilty of it, and we just have to sometimes slow down and go. I saw a typo in a post I did the other day before it posted, and I was able to go in and edit it on my phone before it posted, but I caught it for some reason. I was looking and I was like, oh, that's not right. And it was just a simple, I think tomorrow I put 2 M's, or it was something, when we all go fast and we do it. So just be real mindful of that, of making sure it's spelled, because you are a representation of you're transparent, when you guys post for the Y, you're representing the Y, you're not, they don't see your face, they see that it comes from the Y, and if somebody sees something, they're like, oh, I don't know how to spell, so we just want to be careful of that. So we want to talk a little bit about engagement too. So when a couple of you commented when we were talking about things, it's hard to get follows, it's hard to get engagement. So one of the first things you do on your Facebook page that you are running, that you're an admin for, let me back up just 1 second. Make sure that you're not the only admin. Make sure that there's at least 2 on your page, 2 trusted people. Even if you're a sole proprietor, I recommend you having someone else, someone else could do it if you got sick or something happened. You want someone else to be able to either post or take down the site or something. So that's real important, and that's probably one of the most common emergency questions that I get from people. They'll always contact me and say, something happened to our admin, or they left disgruntled, and no one else. We can't get into our Facebook page. That's bad. That's really, really bad, and it happens all the time. So be really mindful of that, and just go to somebody in your office and say, even if they don't really understand it, just say, hey, I'm going to make you an admin on this page, and they have to accept it, and they don't have to do anything, and you can assure them, but it's just for, reassurance. So, you're shaking your head.
You can get the admin fee, but it maybe like 3 months.
Oh, yeah.
Following Facebook.
It is not easy, is
not
it?
fun.
You have to prove who you are.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a mess.
You have to send them like photo ID. It's not fun.
Yeah, I've had to do stuff through the mail for them. Like they physically want to send it to an address, to prove who you are. It's crazy, but don't put yourself in that situation. Make it easy. Add someone. Go to them and tell them too that you're going to add them as an admin. They have to accept it. You may have to walk them through it. The reason why you would tell them was because if you did leave or if something happened to you, they know that they're an admin. They may not know what to do, but they know that they're an admin, and someone else could come in and they could make someone else an admin as well. So it's just kind of a reassurance. Don't take a chance. So one of the best ways to get engagement is to hold some type of a contest, or to do something with give away something. I don't know if you guys could do stuff like
We
that.
haven't done that yet, but we've definitely talked about it.
Okay.
It would be helpful.
Yeah, it is. It's really, really helpful. So it really brings, let me see, I did a giveaway. Let me go to my published posts on here, and I can show you. I gotta figure out where it was. But when you give something away, no strings attached, you're just, saying, hey, look what we're doing. It really, people love it. Of course, who doesn't want something for free, right? Here we go. Here's a contest. Okay, so here's a contest, and we had 1,800 reached, and the 90 likes, and this, like I said, is a really small site, so that's like 10 times what we normally get. and you can go through it, and you can see I actually boosted this post for like 4 days just to kind of see what would happen. I didn't run the contest for very long. That's something I've learned too, is don't run it for a month. Run it for 5 days max. You know, just kind of test the waters. It's fun to kind of run it over a weekend if you can. So, you know, maybe start it on a Wednesday and end it on a Monday or Tuesday or something like that. That way it'll give you some, you know, a good chunk to go through the days and see where the most engagement was. You'll want to, I actually have an app that connects with my Facebook, and it's a contest. And I don't have the name of it. But I think if you just Google Facebook contest, it's not a Facebook app, it's actually a separate, but it runs with Facebook, and it created all of this for me and gave me all the analytics on it. But if you want to know the name of it, I can send it to Sandy probably. It is. I do pay for it. I'm trying to think. I think I pay $8 a month. So if you're going to do even one a month, it's worth it. So what it does is, well, maybe it'll let me do it. Because here's this contest.appdo. Let's see if it'll. No, it's not. It's taking me back to my Facebook page. Oh wait.
Winner picker, is that
It's at contest.appdo or something. So this contest is closed, so it's not. It was Contest for Pages is the name of the company. But what it does is give you these results, and so you can set up what information you want to capture. So if you want first and last name, email address, you know, that's all I captured on this particular one. But you know, you could set up your own questions for, you know, obviously you don't want to make it too long. People are not going to take the time to, you know, fill out dissertation on anything. But something quick, easy that they can just, you know, what we were trying to do was give something away, obviously, but we were interested in the names and email addresses for our MailChimp. And that's a whole other class, but if you don't have an electronic mail system, that's a great one to use. That's free for up to 5,000 people, I think. But on your results, you can actually export all that information to a PDF. I'm not going to open it up because I don't want it to, well, maybe for a second we can. I just don't want to have anybody's information out there. So this is the information that we gathered. And it also tells you that this person shared it on their timeline. So you could run a contest and say, if you share it, you get an extra entry, and you could give them an extra entry. The other thing is, once you're done with it, you click the thing that says draw winners, and it draws the winner for you. So it's completely random, which is absolutely wonderful. You don't have to put anything in a hat, or you don't have to do anything crazy. I know there's apps for your phone, if you number them, that you can actually do that too. But this was so easy. And when I was running this, I actually got contacted by several people who said, what are you using to do that? And how did you do that? You know, so it was interesting. People really were, people who are marketers, who are friends of mine, saw it and were like, we want to know what you're using and what are you doing with this? So it was kind of fun. I only ran this for a really short time, and I got 74 emails for our database, and which was pretty good because, like I said, we're really small, really, really small. And so even adding 10 people to our database is huge. So to add 74 all at one click is really big. So you can ask questions to the people, particularly, like, in your case, you could ask something if you wanted to know if they have experience with this, or how, if you're really diving down into what the contest, then you got to figure out what you're going to give away too. So you could give away tickets to something. You could, I personally like to give away something that can be put in the mail pretty easily. If you keep that way I can just mail something to somebody. If you are only going to keep it local and you want them to come by your office to pick something up, you could put a holiday basket or something like that together. Gift cards are nice because those are easily mailed. If they do come by your office and pick up their lovely gift basket that they won, that's a great photo app for Facebook, obviously. When you run a contest, be sure to do an announcement of the winner, too. Just don't let it go away. That's real important, and a lot of people don't do this. They just make it go away, and they don't put. So I actually created on Canva the, congratulations to the winner. I don't know where I put it, but it's, it was super easy, and here's our contest, so it would have been, anyway, I have one that it was just like very similar to the one that I did for the post, but it was just the map that it's not coming up, and it said congratulations to we have a winner, kind of thing. And then I put the person's name up here and like tagged them in the post, and then emailed them beforehand to get their permission and to say congratulations, you won. So this isn't how they found out, because I had their email address. So just be thinking of things like that. Everyone likes to win things. It doesn't have to be a vacation. It doesn't have to be a car. It can be really simple things. So you could put a little bit in your budget to give something away monthly, quarterly, however you want to do for engagement. You could probably have some fun with it too, with really simple giveaway. I used to work at Eastman, and we used to give away water bottles, and people would go crazy over them. Of course, that was a big, Facebook page, and we'd have thousands and thousands of people that would try to enter to win a little Triton water bottle. We'd be like, wow, okay. But they want to be the winner, and they want to win. Everybody does. We all do, right? We all like something for free. So it is a good way, and probably everybody in this room could come up with something that you could give away that would kind of be unique or could help provide some engagement. So part of it when you do your contest, especially if you use something like this, is you can actually put, if you share, you can get an additional entry. Sharing is wonderful. You can see who shared it, and then you can enter them for an additional entry, or you can send them something. If they share it, maybe they get an additional little prize or something. So be thinking of how you can encourage people. That's where your engagement's going to come from, and it's really fun. If they come to your office, if you can do that and present somebody with a winner, take a photo. That's huge. It really, really is huge. Any questions on that? Has anybody done anything like that before? No? Well, I encourage you to do it. And if you do it and you have some good feedback, I want to hear about it. Or even if you have bad feedback, I'd like to hear about it, because that's how we learn. Something may not have worked. So when you're another way to provide engagement is to share charity events and things that are going on in the community. So it doesn't necessarily have to be always a charity, but you could follow like the Facebook page for the Virginia Highlands Small Business Incubator. This is a great organization. Why not follow this page and share what they have going on here? Because it can help everyone. So even if it's not in particular, pertaining to what you do, it still shows community support, and it's a good neighborly kind of thing to do. The Washington County Chamber is another great example. They do posts. Why not support what they're doing and put their posts out once in a while and share them? It shows engagement. Make sure you like their pages too. Does everybody know how to do that, to like it as your page? You guys know how to do that. I'll show you real quick in case somebody doesn't know how to do it. Let me get out of this. So what you do is you go to that page. So let me go. Here we go. Washington County page. And then you go. I've already liked it and I'm following it. That's me personally. But then you can go down here. Why is it not doing that? This is actually really important. I want to show you this first. When you follow a page, a lot of people don't understand this. Click this down and make sure that the posts are coming on. And if you want to see their posts first, so with your own pages, personally, make sure you see everything first, or with anything that you're really involved in, make sure you click see first so it comes up right away and you don't miss any of it. You know how everybody's saying, oh, I never see posts from this, or I never see posts from that. That's because you may like something, but maybe it's clicked off. There's defaults on here that every time there's an update, crazy things happen. You have to go in and kind of look at the pages that you've liked and that you're involved with, and make sure that you're actually seeing what you want to see. And when someone sends you a request to like their page, unless it's something totally crazy that you're not wanting to get involved with or want your name, it doesn't hurt you to like their page. It does not hurt you. If you don't want to see anything on it, you can actually unfollow it, but the like still counts. So think of that. A like costs you nothing, and supporting other businesses and supporting charity organizations and nonprofits is really important. You may not want to follow it and see all the stuff, which you can always go in and do that, but you've still liked it, and the likes at least show up. So it's important to do that. But I am following it, and people.
Is there a way to see who's following you and then you can follow them?
Yes. So on your page, I was trying to find my like as my page, but it's not letting me do that on here. So let me show you on a page that I'm doing.
Would that be something in their settings that's blocking you? The chamber settings?
Shouldn't be. I'll try another page though, and see if, because I can't pull up any of the ones that I do. I need to pull up. Let me pull up y'all's page, the Virginia Highlands. Let me see if it's. So here we got following, and then here. It's not letting me do it here either. Okay, so never mind. I'll go back to this other page and show you about. Well, the question was if you could see
Who's following you so that you
and you're talking about other companies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So from a company standpoint, that's a really good question, actually. If another company or nonprofit organization is following you, you should follow them back. So here's where, it's usually over here. I need some eyeglasses. Well, here we go. Now, post on my feed. Okay, nothing's working good today. Usually it's over here. Anybody have anything?
I think it was down a little bit under community,
Did you see it?
right there.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is people though, isn't it?
Under the
818 people follow this. Click that, the very bottom.
Let's,
See all friends. Total follows. Can you click total follows and then go through
I
that?
think, where's that? Over
Top
here.
right. Can you click that?
No.
So they change stuff so often. It drives
Yeah,
me
this
nuts.
is just different because it normally shows up right here on the right-hand side, and it shows up the logos of the company,
Okay.
and it shows you. So it may be different tomorrow, or maybe different on your page.
I can Google it.
Yeah, because usually it's right over here, and it shows up and says, so-and-so likes your page. I can try another one and just see if it's just this page. Let's look and see. This is especially when you first start a page and you're trying to get more engagement and you're trying to get people to like your page, it's really good to go in and follow other pages. So community, here, this is big, and this is something I have a really hard time explaining to people, is you can invite your friends to like your page. It's perfectly okay to do that. No one's going to get mad at you, and no one's going to like, you know, invite your friends to like the page. If you're running the page and you're putting stuff out there, take the time to click that button, and what happens is it goes to your friends list, and then you can go through your friends list and click the ones that you want to invite to the page. And you can even put a little note on there, you know, but it's even if they, I mean, I always tell my husband, I'm going to send you an invite to like this page if I'm running something. And he's like, okay, you know. But you know, it's just like, then his friends see it, and you know, that things like that. Yeah, so it's not coming up today either on here. But I'm sure it's still on here. But about other companies to like, they must be changing something, because it normally pops up right there. But but you can invite your friends through here. You can do all that. Let's go into events now. So does anybody run regular events? You guys do, okay. So do you actually set up events on Facebook? And have you gotten any engagement from that?
Yeah, actually a
good.
pretty good amount, if it's something that, people are interested in, yeah. Like,
Obviously, you have to have people interested,
Yeah.
right? So events is another way to do engagement. When you have your community events, or your things that public is invited to, I encourage you to set it up as an event. You just click and create the event, and then it comes up, and you just fill in the information, the date, what it is. You can do links, if there's tickets involved. Have you ever run tickets through Facebook, or do you just tickets separately?
We don't, we just have people RSVP to an email at this point, because we really don't have that much traction in order
Okay.
to do tickets yet.
Well, the nice thing, if you do an event, what will happen, let me show you something. Once you do an event, everybody who likes the event and puts like that they're going or they're interested, it goes out to all of their friends that you clicked on that event. So people are like, oh, I don't know if I want people to know what I'm doing. Okay, really? So this, so here's an example. Here's an event. I went to events in Facebook. This is not my event. I have nothing to do with this event, except I clicked interested right here. You can either click going, or you can click interested, or you can click not interested if you want to, obviously. But it looked like kind of a fun event, and some of my friends were going, and I thought, oh, that looks like a fun event. So I clicked interested. When I clicked interested, it went out to my friends that I was interested in this event. So it helps promote your event to people who normally may not have seen the event. I think it's great. So whenever I'm trying to support an event, even if I'm not going, I may be out of town. There's no way I can go to this event, but I always click interested if I want to help promote the event. That's just a little tip for you on the flip side of something. Help promote other people's events that way, especially other community partners. But when you go into Facebook events, Facebook is trying to feed you events that you might be interested in. So they're using some of your friends to push events to you to see. So they always think like-minded people hang out together, and which a lot of that is true. And so they're going to push events to you that they think you might be interested in, and that's how you kind of find out about a lot of things. So this is an event that's already set up, and it just looks, it's just a fun little event. And this is exactly what you can do when you set something up. You put your location, your times. Look at this. It's even got like next week the weather is going to be, that's a pretty big range. So 63 to 84. It's like, oh, do you wear a jacket or do you not? But I like all of this. This event happens to be up in Richmond where my daughter lives, so I actually click this and invite her to look at the event too. So that's kind of a fun, in here it has all your details, super easy. If you have tickets, You can even do tickets. I have never personally done tickets within Facebook, is why I asked you about that, because I always drive them to like a website or to an Eventbrite or something where you can keep track of your tickets. But they do have a ticket thing in here, but there is a charge for it. So that's why I was asking you guys if you'd ever done it. But, if you don't, if you've never done an event, I think it's a good thing to kind of test the waters with you. It's completely free to set one up when you're doing stuff. Kyle, you have a lot of events. Do you have somewhat success, little success, no success? What do you have?
Good success in getting the information out. The same way most people will click, they're interested. If the
Yes.
veterans are doing something at Veterans Park, because you can invite them too, and I'll go down the list and just invite everybody, so they have to look at it.
That's a good point.
They have to react, and most of them say, I'm interested, which then pushes it out to all their people.
That's a really good point.
You might get 10 people show up.
So he can set up an event for military, and he could go through his list of his friends who he knows are interested in military events, and just invite them, whether they come or not. But it goes out, and they can choose not to come, or they can pick interested. I try to train people to click interested at least.
It costs nothing to move your finger up and down.
It costs nothing. It costs nothing, and it's like, when I'm training people, there's a certain demographic of people who get on Facebook and they love looking at things, but they're so afraid to like or comment or share, and there's just this fear, and I talk to them, and I'm like, engagement is what this is about, and if you like something, then you're going to see more of that too. If it's a puppy picture and you want to see more puppies, you should click on like. It costs you nothing. It absolutely costs you nothing. So
some of the sites that are smaller, I think it's like under 550, something like that. It'll show you on the left how many likes you have, but over on the right it'll show you who's seen it, especially if it's a closed group. You'll get the line name list of everybody that saw that, and you're like, you couldn't move your finger?
I know. It's a big pet peeve of mine that I don't understand the fear involved with things, but a like costs you nothing. It's kind of I'm gonna get a little pin made up that says that, I think, because I go on Facebook to see the fun events and all the things that are going on that are in people's successes and things like that. So that's I'm a big proponent of that and not being afraid. Okay.
The same on like Instagram. These are the things you chose to follow and look at. So you're not even clicking; you're just touching it.
Yeah.
It costs nothing.
Yeah. Don't be afeared. Don't be afeared. Okay, so we talked a little bit about driving people to your website too. So that's the other thing, when you can embed links into some of your posts. That's a really good thing to do when you're doing your posts. Drive them to your website, and if you have a landing page on that site, that's really nice too. So if you're doing something, it's kind of a big deal. Like one of my clients is doing a brick pavers for a fundraiser for this Heritage Center, and they're selling these brick pavers, which is kind of a big deal, but it's going to be closing down here pretty quick, and then they're going to be taking all the engraved pavers, and they'll be putting them into a sidewalk in front of this historic one-room schoolhouse. And so it's real important that we get the word out about that, but we have a whole landing page set up on their website, so when they click on the link from Facebook, it can go to the website, and then it has the PayPal and everything, or they can write a check if they still want to do that. But those are the kind of things that are important. We also talked about boosting posts already, inviting people to like and follow your page. Don't be afraid to do that. There's no reason why they shouldn't do that. The very least, they can ignore it. No harm done, right? You can use videos in Facebook Live. I don't do a lot of that kind of stuff. Anybody do videos and have success? You do videos, in fact, Sandy does. Anybody else do? You guys haven't tampered with it yet. What about you, Nita? You guys ever use it?
We started using it. Sandy got us more involved with that, and then Samantha, she's getting more used to doing that, like for the ribbon cutting and
I would think with the ribbon cutting events that would be kind of cool because it's quick and it's, you know. So I have a couple of things that on the videos, if you do them, keep them short, unless they're educational videos, of course, you can't keep those short. But what about house tours? You ever do videos?
I do, or just nice things to, if you're out in the community, you want to try and just learn about something. I struggle with that because I lack confidence. And then the end part, I haven't figured out how to go back in and re-get it.
Yeah.
Because it's live.
Especially Facebook Live, right?
Right. And so I haven't fooled around with it enough to feel super comfortable with it. But it's popular among other colleagues. I see them do it all over the place.
Do they keep their videos short?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually.
Yeah, and when I say short, I mean, you want to be able to just click on it and kind of look at it and see what's going on. Ribbon cutting is a good example of something you can kind of keep short to, 60 seconds or 30 seconds. Because I worked with someone a couple years ago, well, no, maybe it was a year ago, and she, for her business, was trying to really promote a lot of videos because she was told that that was the thing to do, but her videos were so long, they were like 3 and 4 minutes long, that no one's going to stay on there that long. And I tried to convince her to, you can say the same thing in like 30 seconds, really. And I don't know what she's doing now. I don't really work with her right now. But her engagement was terrible, and she kept complaining. I'm like, I said, well, let me take a look. Well, I fell asleep, and I was like, okay, well, that's why. I don't think I told her that though. I just a little bit too long.
I think you need, it's all the content that you're putting out there and what your audience is looking for. Like if I had a boutique or something like that, I would, when a big truck was coming to bring me a new shipment fall,
Oh.
I would have the truck backing up, we're unloading
Beep,
it.
beep, beep.
I mean,
What's on the truck?
Or, you're getting ready, you're having a new special at the restaurant and you'll show some of the staff back there making it. I mean, there's
It's a
all
great
kinds
idea.
of stuff, but it's all, you're limited to your imagination. And sometimes if you can think outside the box and look at what catches your eye on others. But I know video is really hot now.
Yeah, so like with your houses, every time you put a sold sign on a house, you should take a quick video. And with that, I mean, it can be 10 seconds, but it's just something a little bit different.
And you can have, if your clients would allow, can we do a 1 minute, thank you?
Hand you the keys or something,
Yes.
or, I
They
mean.
put the little sold thing on there, this
Yeah.
is just the digital version.
Yeah, I think,
Put the sold sign on.
you could probably do some
There
fun
are lots of
stuff.
different things you do. The longer videos, I find YouTube is the place to do that, just to create an account there.
Yeah.
You've got your own library.
Do you have one?
I don't, but that's where I see the longer.
That's a great
videos
idea.
Showing up with all the patronize a bunch of folks I'll follow.
Kyle, do you use YouTube?
A little bit, probably could do it more, but
It's one extra thing.
I'm lazy.
Just like that.
He's a lot of things, but he's not lazy, I don't think.
There's a lot to do.
That's not the word that comes to mind. Anybody use YouTube for storing videos or have their video? Of course, Sandy does. She's teacher's pet. Well, in success with videos, that's a whole art to it. And sometimes you've done classes here,
Yeah, and Josh Mancuso is going to be doing some classes coming up in our new knowledge sessions this year on videos on TV. And if you missed some of these prior ones or any of this content, remember, we have a new knowledge YouTube page. It's got over 100 workshops that we've done from everything about how you're scheduling LinkedIn, how to develop not Facebook pages, well that too, but using video and different ways that you can take that content from your phone and create a nice, not Steven Spielberg, but there's so much content on. Just go to youtube.com/new knowledge. That's it.
oh, that's awesome.
Johnny Fowler is with Hancock Mortgage. He's a lender, and he goes around the country. He's an author. He goes around and does sessions like this. Very motivational, and I would encourage y'all to look him up.
What's his name?
Facebook, Johnny Fowler with Hancock Mortgage. We had some of us from the Association of Realtors had to come for leadership retreat 2 years ago, and he's just always doing stuff on the road. It's just a lot of fun. He does crazy stuff. So
That's
always,
great.
Always has his brand with bottle of water with him. So
I'll look that up. I always like to see,
he's out of Texas.
even if it's not your field, it's you
Right.
can get ideas.
But you get ideas. He's,
Yeah.
And he gets you out of the comfort zone.
And if he's
Because
motivated,
he'll do a live in the room and come up and sit right down next to me. Hey, Wayne, what's going on? And then,
And then you're like,
I'm red and nervous. That's what he does. And that's us out of our comfort zone.
but it also, like you were saying, what did you say about being? You didn't say awkward, but you.
Confidence.
What'd you say?
Confidence.
Confidence.
Having confidence to do those things.
And I totally agree with that. That's a really hard thing to put yourself. It's one thing to take a picture because you can kind of edit it, but when you're doing a Facebook Live and this is what you get, it takes a lot, especially if you're in it.
I did one and I had the phone, held the phone wrong, so everybody was looking at me like I was upside down.
I hope you made a joke about it.
I did. Everybody's chiming in. I had people from all over the world chiming in, friends from everywhere.
Oh,
And I was
good.
like, well, how do I correct this? And one of my buddies chimed in. So.
See, you can make a joke out of it if you do something like that.
You lay down on your couch and take a picture and say, yeah, that's how I did it.
Exactly. So, learning to kind of make fun of ourselves and, is part of it too, especially when you work for yourself basically and you have to promote it. However you can get it, sometimes it's the better way to get it. You got some engagement out of that you didn't plan on it. And you may not have gotten any engagement or very much if you hadn't done something like that, I've actually seen videos where people are walking and they're like, da-da-da, and they trip. And who doesn't want to see that? They didn't get hurt, but it was just kind of. I mean, didn't we all love the America's Funniest Home Videos? It brought me right back to that because I'm super clumsy and I'm always falling and tripping. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's something I would do. And that person made fun of themselves and said, oh, I'm not hurt. Here I'm on the ground, And I was like, oh, okay, that's great. So, a couple more things because we got to wrap up real quick. You can, when someone comments on your page on a post, comment to them and thank them for the comment or engage with them. I encourage you to do that. All of that is good, especially if they ask a question. And sometimes you may have to say, oh, I'll send you a message, and you can certainly do that. But if there's a question and it's just laying there and there's nothing from you, that people who are looking at your page are wondering if you even took the time to answer that question. So if you say, I'll PM you or I'll message you or something, at least you're acknowledging that, And I always say, like your posts. When you post something, like it as your business, like it as yourself, because you can switch the little toggle. Everybody know how to do that, right? And become yourself on your page. And then when someone comments or compliments or does something, like it as your page, and then and say thank you for your comment or thank you, if it's a negative comment, definitely address it as well and say I'm going to message you or something like that. Don't ignore it. Never ignore a negative comment, and don't ignore even a positive comment. So that's one of the questions I get most from people is, what if something does, something negative? I'm like, you address it. It's better than to do it then than to go on Twitter and do some kind of blast about you or something really negative about your company, and you don't have an opportunity to address it. Twitter's the same way. You can address it, but make sure that you put on there that you're going to message them or, you don't want anybody with a bad taste in their mouth, and especially public. You can also take down the post if it's really, I've had derogatory things on some of my clients, and I've actually had to block people, and you can individually block people from a page if somebody's just a hateful employee or negative former employer. So that's what we have today. These are just my little tips. Like I said, they all may not work for you, but do what you can, and if I can help you, you guys are welcome to connect with me and figure things out. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you all for coming, and as always, we thank Cindy, and it's always good to see her. On October the 2nd, Floyd Bailey, who is the information technology person for the town of Abingdon, is going to be here to talk to you about cybersecurity. Folks weren't paying much attention to that, but these days, I deal with a international company who helps with the HVAC system. They were hacked, ransomware, and they had to pay to get their accounts back. So this is more important than folks realize, and it's happening more and more. So Floyd Bailey will be here on October the 2nd. On October the 16th, one of our other favorites, Josh Mancuso, will be here talking about the 5 marketing strategies you should be using right now.
When is that one?
October 16th.
That's
And
good.
Josh uses video a lot. And so he is a dynamic speaker, and this is also a
Smart guy.
must-see class. So thanks for coming.
Yes.